Well, hello and happy new year. Happy 2026 and welcome back to Wine, Wealth, and Tea podcast. I am your host, Chrissy, and I am so glad that you guys are here with me for today's conversation. Today's conversation is about life over 40. This is now my first episode of the year, and I've done a lot of things over the last couple of weeks trying to get ready for the podcast. And I'm just glad that you all are here with me. I'm still getting used to things. I'm going to be changing out microphones, backgrounds. It's going to be a lot of things that are happening, but I still want to continue to record and continue to talk with you as we go on this journey this season. I don't like calling them seasons, but season. So yeah, life over 40 is today's conversation. And I have my tea ready, my lemon zest. And this is a good one. I think I told you guys I had like 6 different teas that I was trying. So I think I tried the peach before, and today is the lemon zest. And I'll let you know exactly what those teas are when I finish trying them all. So life over 40 is really weird. It comes with a lot of things and no manual. And although people have started to normalize it more, still it still has its fears. I remember being in my 30s and going, "Oh my God, I'm going to be 40, and when I get 40, what is life going to be, and what will I accomplish, and who will I be married to, and where will I live?" You thought about all these things because 40 was like this, like I don't know if like it was like a what do you want to call it? A mark, a point on your life, like where you just set up a flag or something. I don't know. And we all were just waiting to get to our 40s. And little did we know that life in your 40s is weird. It's weird, man. Like you mentally change, you shift, you go through all of these things in life. And the reason why this conversation, let me step back because I got to make you guys laugh. The reason why this conversation is coming up is because I decided at my 43 years of wisdom that I was going to go out with one of my close friends that I hadn't seen in a long time on a Monday night. Look, going out on a Monday night is crazy work for anybody over 40. All right. That is the start of your work week after you've had a weekend of washing clothes, getting your home ready, paying bills, and going grocery shopping. Mondays are normally not the day that you want to be out in the streets. But your girl here was like, all right, let's do it. It's 2026. I'm going to just do things differently. I'm going out on a Monday. Not only was it a Monday, it was a Monday at 10 o'clock at night. I mean, who goes out at 10 o'clock at night? Like, I don't have a life and kids and everything else to deal with, right? But we decided it was okay. We wanted to try something new. And we got to this restaurant. We thought we were going to, enjoy some music, enjoy some food, and catch up, talk, right? No. So this is how I know that I'm over 40. I'm in this restaurant and the music is so very, very loud, right? That I'm literally saying, "Huh? What did you say? I can't hear you." I was literally to the point where I was about to start texting her and showing her my phone to have the conversation because we could not hear one another. Although it was a big event going on and we knew nothing about, we just came out just because it was Instagram. Instagram made us do it, right? So we're out here and we get something to eat. And in order to order the food, we had to do the QR code menus. And when you're over 40, you hate QR code menus. Okay. I actually used the QR code menu technique for my daughter's Sweet 16. The kids loved it. They thought it was just a blast. And I told them, hey, use the QR codes because I had to pay for them. So they enjoyed it. They thought it was really cool. The menu pops up and tells them everything that's on the menu. They enjoyed it. That's just that generation. My generation, we hate it. We hate having to scroll on our phones to find out what foods we're going to eat. We would much rather have a book or whatever long sheet of paper, whatever it is, to flip it, to look at it. Because when you're on your phones, you have to remember, right? You're on your phones, you're going like this, you get a call, so now that screen is gone. You get a text, and now your attention span is not completely there while you're trying to look at this menu on your phone, right? So we order out the food on the phone. Meanwhile, we can't even see our phones because it's so dark. So I started to feel like this old person, like literally, I couldn't hear, couldn't see. Half of my senses was gone, and it was only 10:30 at night, right? We ended up ordering, which you could barely hear our waitress, sweet as she can be, but you could barely hear it because the music was so loud. And then on top of that, they did hookah, and the hookah was so thick in the air, it was just too much. for me at 43. While the restaurant itself gets a lot of traffic. It's a great restaurant, but for a Monday night, it was too much for us. We decided we probably, and it was my second time going, because I always try a place 2 times, at least two, to see if it's something I missed or maybe I just wasn't feeling it that night. And if I want to turn up, if I want to be back in my 30s, I'll go there. Definitely. But for me, over 40, it was too much. That's just what it was. It looks beautiful. I can make anything look great online. And I made it look beautiful. And it was. It's beautiful inside, very comfy. But again, I can't see and can't hear. And all I can smell is hookah. So it really, really messed up my senses. And then when we left, we were both like, I got a headache. And I told her, I was like, we're going to have headaches in the morning from the music and the hookah. And sure enough, we did. So that prompt the conversation. She was like, "Yeah, you need to talk about that on your podcast, like what it feels like turning 40." She was more or less wanting to talk about women and how they start to change in their 40s. And I'm going to get to that, but I wanted to talk about 40 as a whole first and the different things that we are dealing with. We have mental challenges that arise in your 40s. You start to question things. I mean, you question everything. You even start questioning, are your parents really your parents? Because some of the decisions and choices they make, they just can't be real. You're like, that makes no sense. I'm 40 and I wouldn't have done what they've done. Really, really just you go through a mental clarification moment of everything. Like I said, your parents, your religion, your relationships, your career. You really look at life through a lens of maybe if I did this, I would have ended up that way instead of this way. And then you start making better choices because of that. Like one thing you won't do, you won't allow people to get certain access to you anymore once you get into that level in your 40s because you are desiring to have more peace versus pleasing people. You want that peace and you start trying to figure out how is the best way to obtain peace. And you X people out, you switch and shift your friendships a lot. I've gone through a period of time where I've switched my friendships multiple times and out of those multiple times, probably one time in particular, it wasn't by choice. The friends that are shifted around are friends I would have kept. But some decisions and things were made, and I don't know. We'll see what life holds. It was nothing that anyone did to me or I did to them, but it was some other things in the background. But that's another podcast. So back to being 40, yeah. So you seek out your peace more, which means that even in dating, your tolerance level is very, very low, especially if you're 43 and you've been dating since you were 16. You're tired. And I've been married, I'm divorced, and you're tired and you know at this point how you want to live, where you want to be in the next 10, 20 years. Some people don't. Some people say, I don't know what my plan is and where I'm going in life at 40. I don't know. I don't want to know. I'm not trying to figure it out. And I get it. I get it. Some things you just go along the way with. I get that. I am OCD in many ways, and my closest of closest friends know that about me. I have to know. My plans are often 1 to 2 years ahead, maybe 5 years ahead. It doesn't always mean it's going to happen that way, but I do plan differently now that I'm in my 40s. I think I've always been that way, honestly, but it's worse now in my 40s. And another thing I noticed, and you tell me if you've had any of these experiences yourself in your 40s, that now my confidence is up. I was very, very insecure and shy growing up. I have a friend from high school who he tells me all the time, if people really knew you, they would know that you were never this vocal and never this outspoken in high school. I kind of stayed to myself. I had a few friends, but I think it was because I moved around so much that I just didn't desire to become attached to many people. So, I had a very small circle and I was fine with that. But now here I am in my 40s, approaching mid 40s, and my confidence level is like, yeah, that's me. And that's what I choose to do. That's how I feel. That's how I choose to look. That's what I choose to eat. Yeah, yes, I want to exercise. Yes, I believe in this. No, I don't believe in that. It's very, very direct now as to where I am in things. And you say how you feel more out loud now. You don't sugarcoat things anymore. Because why? Why would I sugarcoat it? What do I have to sugarcoat my feelings for anymore? If I don't feel like I want to go and hang out today with a particular group of people, I don't have to sugarcoat it or try to figure out a way around it because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. We're grown. I don't want to do it. That's just it. You take it or you leave it. So, that's what you do in your 40s. I hear as you get older, it gets worse. Like right now, I see number 47. He don't give a hell about anything. His confidence is through the roof. I mean, he don't care what comes out his mouth because he is near the ending. And at that point, you don't care. So, but I think his confidence has always been the way it is. It's a little bit narcissist personality going on there. But again, I'm not a podcast for politics, nor do I want to be. But sometimes I have to bring some of those things in because we are all experiencing the same things at the same time in this country and across the world. But yeah, so in my 40s, my confidence level has raised. My thought process is different. And now, when you hit 40, you realize, and I'm just saying this for me, what I realize is this: I'm 40. In 20 years, I'll be 60. In 40 years, I'll be 80, right? And you start at 40. I'm 43, but you know what I mean. And you really start to think about how much time do you really have left? That's just me. I don't know if that has crossed other people's minds that are in your 40s. You let me know in the comments. Do you think about that? Like, damn, I'm 40 now. I don't know if I'm even guaranteed another 40 years here. What do I have left? What can I fix? What can I accomplish, in this phase in my life? And that's pretty scary. I know for women, when we are in our 40s, it hits different because now our reproductive system is starting to shift and change and shut down ultimately. So we're experiencing hormonal level changes, physical changes that you wouldn't believe. I'm not going through them just yet, but I do know a lot of people that are around me that have gone through it or have started going through it, and it's scary. It's really scary. I'm glad that we're talking about it more for women, but I think men go through it too. It may not be men. It may not be menopause, but it's definitely something. I don't know what they want to call it, but men go through something too as they're entering this next phase of their lives, right? So, here I am now experiencing not only the mental part of it, but the body and my energy levels and my health. It's crazy. And it's a lot to take care of yourself in this phase because now you're thinking, all right, I can barely get up in the morning. I don't know about you, but I'm a person that I'm supposed to get up about 6:30ish every day, right? And I am also a person that can't sleep past 8:30. Just can't no matter what. Sometimes I do if it's been like a really, really stressful evening before or whatever, but most of the time I'm up by 8:30. So, but that 6:30, baby, that 6:30 is hard, hard. I mean, hard. I can barely get out of the bed to get myself in mental order, let alone physical. So I sometimes turn my alarm off and I sit there and I'm like, I'm present. I'm here. Am I really here? Yeah, I'm here. What day is this? Oh my goodness, did I oversleep? What I gotta do today? Did that kid get up? I hope anybody didn't leave the trash downstairs. I hope somebody put the dishes up. I mean, all of these things go through your head and you haven't even moved out of the bed yet. Then you go to sit up and you're like, oh my God, why does that hurt? What did I do? Did I sleep wrong? Did I sleep enough? Oh no, I gotta get up. Everything hurts. It hurts. So you physically are experiencing body soreness. Megan Thee Stallion knees is gone, baby. Mary knees now, they ain't Megan's. So you gotta take your time in how you maneuver. You don't wanna hurt nothing, break nothing, hit nothing, bruise nothing. For me, I gotta put my glasses on because I can barely see in the mornings. It's just something. It's something to realize that you're aging. By the time I get myself really together mentally, it's probably around 9 o'clock. I normally tell people, don't say nothing to me until after coffee and after 9. I literally tell my coworkers that haven't had my coffee yet. Give me a minute. Got to process. Got to wake it up. My brain it needs lubricant. So I go through that. But something that's also stuck out to me in my is my concern about my brain health. I am like obsessed right now with brain health. And I'll explain to you why I'm so concerned with brain health, right? I'm so concerned with brain health because I experience a family that suffers with Alzheimer's disease, generational issues of Alzheimer's disease in our family. And because I've seen it multiple times, I'm often concerned on if it will affect me, if I have the genetic trait. And no, I'm not a person that goes and tests for those type of things because even though you may know once you get the test and you can change some things, it's not going to change the whole hereditary gene. You know what I mean? This is who you are. This is how you were made. But I do try to change. My whole thought process is if this is genetics, right? If I've inherited this, how can I slow it down? How can I prepare for it better? How can I maybe change when it happens? So my brain health is very important to me. So this year I'm working on cholesterol levels and my cognitive health. And I take so many your 40s is like vitamin central. Like I'm what is that? Vitamin city, whatever. I'm that. Like I got my own vibe. You open up a cabinet in my house, and I swear it looks like a drugstore or a vitamin shop. That's what it's called, the vitamin shop or the vitamin store, one or the other. Anyway, the amount of vitamins it takes to get your body what it needs in your 40s. In my 20s, I barely took a multivitamin. Like seriously, what? Take that? What? No, no, no. I'm gonna eat this burger, these fries, the slice of pizza, this milkshake, and I'm gonna go about my day. Now try that in your 40s and see how far you get. I'm not gonna make it out the door because by the time I finish that milkshake, I got stomach pains. I eat the french fries. My head is hurting from the salt. I don't eat red meat, so I won't even go there. But these things are the things that are going to change for you. If you are not yet in your 40s and haven't experienced these things on some level, good luck when it happens because it's going to happen. You won't be able to eat those type of meals anymore that you ate in your 20s and your 30s. It's not going to go down well, and it won't work out well in the bathroom for you. I can be honest, but it's you have to be willing to change too as you age. So certain things I know that my body can't process anymore. So I stopped. Stop. Just stop. It may taste good, but it's gonna hurt more later than it's worth. So I did change my whole diet of what I ate. And that is very, very important to me right now because your health and your brain health, they go together, And then I had to realize some habits that had to go as well. Like my habits of eating late and sleeping late or staying up late, those habits don't work for me anymore. I can't do those things and still fully function throughout my day. Like there is no way. And I'm a binge watcher. I love to binge watch a series. If I find something I like and they released it, the whole thing, maybe I'm there for the whole thing. I have set up and watched series until 5 o'clock in the morning. That's just, I'm bad with it. But I know that's a habit of mine. So what I do is I'll wait until like a Friday and binge because I know I have nothing to do if I have nothing planned for that Saturday. And typically I'll sleep a little late. Like I said, I can't sleep past 9, so I'll try. But yeah, that is a habit of mine. That is a really bad habit of mine. And that had to go. Another bad habit of mine was trying to apologize for things that were beyond my control, things that were not, as I've said in multiple pods, not my problem. That's another thing I learned because that's a part of this journey is seeking out help when I need it. So therapy has been a major part. I didn't start therapy in my 40s. I started it in my 30s, but it's been more beneficial to me now than it was then. So that is a habit that had to go, trying to take on everybody's problems and issues and fix them myself. I want you guys to be able to join into the conversation. And the way that you'll be able to do that, I want to take a quick moment to show you something so that you are aware on how you can be a part of this whole situation of growth, right? So, what I'm going to show you is my website, okay, where you can find everything you need to know about me. And this is the website, right? So you will be able to find me online at chrissydoles.com/KMF. keep moving forward. Remember that, right? So you'll be able to go on this website, and it was created by my wonderful cousin Shay. She is amazing. I'll tell her something that I need, and she's just good at it. She's designed a few people's websites. So let me know if you need somebody to create a website. So again, I'm just showing you what it looks like. Um, and you'll see you can follow us. You can follow us on Instagram or TikTok. I drop things there every once in a while. And if you subscribe, you'll be able to know what's going on more. And you can watch us on YouTube. Watch and subscribe to YouTube. It is free to join us. Okay. So, and then I'm also streaming on Spotify. So look Wine, Wealth, and Tea up on Spotify and join in on there. And then one of the biggest things that we've created is the merch store for Wine, Wealth, and Tea. I am so proud about the merch store. And if you want to go directly to just our wine, that's there as well. And we are creating a magazine. It is forthcoming. I will let you guys know when that happens. So I want to take you to the merch store as well, and show you what that looks like. So this is the merch store. This is www.tmerch.com. And on this store, you'll be able to go and find out all of our hoodies. Look at this, great hoodies. It's hoodie season right now, right? And these are things that I have created myself. And I own most of these things. I own that, I own that, I own that, I have that. And this is my newest one, the Not My Problem edition. So that is really, really fun, and um, just something to be a part of. And if you want to go back to our tanks and t-shirts, we do have some tanks and t-shirts here. And then if you want to get more into understanding the wine culture that I've created, that's on here too. And you can shop for the wine by pressing the button. Um, and if you just want some accessories, we got some great things here. Look at the glasses for wine. I mean, these are just beautiful. They are like hand painted roses on the cups, glass, the stemless ones, and then some. This one is really cute. We just got that one in, and these are designs that we came up with. We even have champagne flukes if you want to be a part of the family. I'm all about my coffee. And hey, girls, we are the 92%. Hello. You got that right there. Okay. Um, and there's the Not My Problem cup as well. And these are just some other Go Girl coffee mugs with love from Keep Moving Forward. These are just fun things that I've created. And my cousin, we both created some things. That's my Wine, Wealth, and Tea cup that I have right now. And last but not least, I'll show you some more little accessories. This is just a vintage poster, our bags, our coffee. Yes, I have my own coffee blend. You're able to get it there. And if you want to reach us, you just can subscribe for more to our emails. Okay. I wanted to just show you guys that website because today's show is sponsored by Wine Wealth and Tea. Yes, that is who I am. And at any time, you can go back to the show and just show you. It's very, very user friendly. You can contact us. You can see on our welcome page as well what it looks like. It'll be able to take you there and tell you you're officially part of the team or the community. Again, this was designed by my cousin. I really, really love it. I think it was really, really fun and cute. Um, so yeah, that is the Wine Wealth and Tea podcast shop. So yeah, I want to get back to let's see. I hope it all showed up for you guys. We'll find out. Did it? I guess it did. We'll find out later. So yeah, I want to get back to what we were talking about with being in our 40s, right? And it has just been a crazy ride for me, in what I've experienced. And like I said, I recently decided to just get my life on a path of my brain health and being more confident in myself and taking time to change things. Also, one of the biggest things that I sorry about that, decided on was my hold on one second, guys. This is what it's like to do this in real time, and I'm learning as I go. I am producing and recording, so bear with me as I go through all of this. So yeah, and we really, really struggle with this whole getting older thing. One of the biggest things that I discovered for myself growing was money management. So this is Wine Wealth and Tea podcast. So Of course, we're going to talk about your wealth, money management. In my 20s, my account was always in the negative. I'm just going to be honest. Look, I had to cough about that thing because it was rough. Shoot, my 30s always in the negative. Wasn't until my late 20s that I got a hold of things and started to understand money a little bit more. And in your 40s, you start realizing what you will never do again, right? Certain things I never do again. Take trips knowing good and well I got bills to pay, or loaning out money that I know I can't get back. These are things that you learn, and once you're in your 40s, you do a lot better. Learning how to pay yourself, learning if there's something that you want, how to work for it, and being old enough to know, hey, if I need an extra job to get things done, I'll take an extra job, right? So these are all the things that I dealt with. In growing, turning over 40. And so, not starting out my 401k sooner. Man, I wish I had started it out sooner than later. My uncle told me in my early 20s that I needed to do it, and I didn't. So I'm a late investor. Although I do invest, learning to, if I'm not investing in a company, then I don't buy the product. So that's another thing that I watch for now, looking for products that I can invest in and earn from. That is something else that you come into your own way of thinking as you get older. And it's just, I don't know, you think about, what does wealth mean now? What is luxury versus freedom for you? Which one matters more? Because for me, my freedom, luxury is a freedom for me, and freedom is my luxury. So I've learned to balance both, where I can still enjoy the luxuries of my adulthood and the fruits of my labor and be free when I'm doing it. I can't say what matters more in that. Maybe you can tell me what matters more to you, your luxury or your freedom. I know right now we live in a space where our freedoms are often tested. It's just a sad time right now, to be honest. But yeah, that's in my 40s. That's something I definitely am learning more about, being able to enjoy luxury and freedom. Because now I got control of my finances, right? So once you get control of your finances and you're not living in a space where your paycheck is, well, we all are still living paycheck to paycheck, let's just be honest. But what I mean is, you are racking up fees and either credit cards or negative accounts because you are making decisions like you're eating out every single day. That was something I did in my 20s and 30s, every single day. Now I cook more. I have more of a thought process of how I'm going to live and eat because I've done it so much on my own until I'm used to it now, right? So when you become used to your way of life and how you want to live, you do better at it. So that is something else that I realized. I have a lot of things that I don't allow to trigger me anymore. I had some triggers, and I'm not there. I'm not, certain things would trigger me, certain people's words. I don't know. I guess some things still trigger me. And that leads into what relationships look like in your 40s. Ooh, baby. Dating in your 40s, it can get real messy real fast because you have a different set of standards than you did when you were younger and you don't want to settle. Like, I've had a habit of always trying to date based on potential that I see in others, of what I think that person can become if they really, really put their mind to it, not realizing it wasn't for me to try to, work on their mind. I had to work on mine. So now here I am, 43 years old. Listen, Linda, if you don't have it together in your late 40s, if you can't come to the table the same way I have to come to the table with stuff in order and things together, then we don't need to be sitting at the table together. And that's just plain and simple. That's just where I am at 40 when it comes to dating. If you are not on the same mental level, financial level, or anything else, I cannot settle. I cannot waver. I cannot hope and pray that you will meet and rise to the occasion, because we are now in our 40s, which means I don't have much time to try to raise you to become an adult. That is just where I am. So, excuse me for sounding um, the way that I sound, whatever way you want to take it. But in my 40s, I have no time. I have no time for you still trying to figure out who you are. You need to know who you are at this point. You need to know what you're going to deal with and what you're not going to deal with when it comes to dating. We are all trying to figure out who we are still as we grow. But when it comes to dating, you should know who you are and what you bring to the table for that individual and what you are not willing to tolerate. Um, what kind of peace you want in your partnership. Do you want a partnership? You gotta ask all of these things, and then the whole friendships things. Like in your 40s, your friendships are gonna change a lot. Because there's going to be a lot of different levels of your thought process as you start to enter the 40s. Your viewpoints on religion, on faith, because religion and faith are not the same to me. Sorry, just not. Religion and faith are two totally different things. That's another podcast for another day. But you're going to really, really start to really think about these things as you age, and that process will change your circle of friends. And I've had a lot of changes of friends over the last 4 years, honestly. A lot of friends I miss, a lot of friends I can do without, and I'm just being honest. But the ones that I miss had an impact on me, and it wasn't anything. You know what? I'm not even gonna say that I miss them. We just haven't caught up with each other. How about that? Because they're still friends. I just haven't had time to catch up with them. But the ones that are no longer in my life, I am okay with that because I'm in a different space. I'm on a different level. I'm going to a whole different era in my life right now. So there will be some necessary changes, and you have to be ready for that. So this is what 40 looks like, right? And you can take it or you can leave it. But this is how I see 40 for me. And now, you need to ask yourself, what are you reinventing right now about you? What chapter are you closing in your life as you become 40 or in your 40s? Who are you becoming? Ask yourself these questions. What fears are you done carrying? Because we all have fears, right? And that's just where we are in life. We got to face our fears. The older we get, just adjust to things and find that peace that you need, and find restaurants that they can turn the music down and turn the light up so you can see the menu and hear each other talk. Because that right there was just, my goodness, it, that's just where I am right now, guys, in my 40s. And, they have a lot of myths about being over 40 that, once you're over 40, that life is over. I think that life really starts in my 40s. Like, I really have the gist of it now. It's about to really make sense. Yeah, that's what it is. So, if nothing else you've taken from this conversation that we've had this evening, you know, learn about what you want to accept, who you want to become, where you've come from, and grow from that. My advice to someone that's turning 40 is don't look at your life based on someone else, because that is a trap that we set ourselves in. We often feel like our accomplishments are going to be met by the other people around us. You cannot measure up based on somebody else. Don't look at somebody else and feel that you are not where you belong because you see where they are. That's their journey, that's their path, it's not yours. So, coming into your 40s, just don't. Be in your own lane, be your own person, and accomplish your own goals. Don't make goals that you have to reach that are unattainable because they're somebody else's goals. I had this goal that I had to be married and living the quote unquote American dream by 40. I'm 43. I've been married. I'm divorced 15 years. But I no longer hold myself captive to what I see around me. Like, I have most of my friends are married and they have beautiful marriages, relationships. All marriages and relationships are up and down. It's part of life. But it's not totally for me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't hold myself to it. I just like watching the dynamics between my friends and the relationships that they're in. And I learn from it. And I have my own takeaways on how I date and how I see individuals and different things. But that is my one piece of advice for anybody that's entering into their 40s. Don't hold yourself accountable based on other people around you. Hold yourself accountable based on you, but not other people, because that's their lives. Why don't you do me a favor? Drop your age in the comments and let me know some of the things that you've experienced in your 40s thus far. And we'll continue to have this conversation if you choose. This is a conversation that will continue to go on as long as you want it to. Make sure that you like, subscribe to this channel. This is the Wine, Wealth, and Tea podcast. I am your host, Chrissy, and I hope you enjoyed this conversation today, because now I am over 40. I'm tired. I had a long day. I want to eat and go to bed. So I can't wait to talk to you again soon. And this is Chrissy with Wine with the Tea again. Find me on YouTube, find me on TikTok, Instagram, follow, like, subscribe, all of those different things. Okay. Next time, we'll talk about something else different. You let me know what you want to talk about next in the comments, and I'll be back again for the next podcast. Bye.